What's up, good people?
What's going on, family?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode. We are so blessed and grateful to have you with us. Another episode of Seasoned AzF. Welcome back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome, welcome. How you doing, Miss Harmony?
Hey, I am doing well. I do my very best not to complain. How you doing this week?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a busy week, a long week, but a blessed one nonetheless. So, you know, we here, and we ready to go. We got
Nice.
some hot topics for them today.
Yes, sir, we do. We're never mad at booked and busy, but we are going to jump right on into it today. Well, this evening, actually, we are going to be talking about and to our single parents. Everybody knows some of us are some, we all know some. So we're going to talk a little bit about single parents, and we want you to jump in and join us and comment and share your thoughts and let us know how you feel about what we're talking about. And so we want to hear from you. Let's get to it.
All right. Well, the first question I have for the single moms out there: what is one of the worst things that a single mom can do or teach her son?
Ooh, boy. I am sure there is probably a nice list of things that would probably not be good for a mother to tell their son. Um, and I am speaking not from experience here because I am a girl mom. But I will speak from the experiences that I have or have seen or have counseled my sisters on that have boys. Um, One in particular that I can think of, definitely a single mom. And what would I think the worst thing that she could tell her son? Right off the top, since you put me on the spot, Skillz, I think one of the worst things that she could tell her son is like all of the negative personal things that went on between the mom and the dad. I think that would probably be um, unhelpful, um, not beneficial to the child in any way, especially, while they're under a certain age. If they become old enough to ask some specific questions, then maybe you can have a conversation with them at that time. But I just always feel like our parents taught us when we were young, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. Um, you know, do your best to frame the narrative. You don't have to lie because, some people are like, well, I'm just telling the truth. Well, you very well might be telling the truth, but you also know how you can frame a story, so that it's less hurtful, less vengeful, and all those things. So I really feel like, off the top of my head, I would feel like that's one of the worst things that a mother could do, uh, you know, to their son. What do you think?
Like you said, there's a whole list of things that can go wrong with that situation. So
Yeah.
it's a very interesting question, but I'll try to sum it up as quick as I can. One of the worst things that I think a mom could do or tell her son is negative things about Black men. Um, because, newsflash, that little boy is a Black man. He grows up to be a Black man. So, you know what I mean? Like when you down a Black man in front of your son, that's his image and becomes his image of other Black men. And they begin not to trust Black men at a very young age for, all different types of reasons that has nothing to do with that Black man, but yet the black man that the mom has described all of their life.
Mm.
Please try to refrain from, being negative about Black men and saying negative things to your son, because he will learn his first experience about what a Black man is from you. Even if that, you have nothing good to say about that child's father, put a positive influential man in that child's life. Find an uncle, find a grandfather, find a cousin, find a A gentleman from the church, find somebody somewhere that is a positive influence of a black man for that black son versus letting him know a negative experience from your point of view, about what a black man is and what that black man did to you. Because let's be clear, most of the times when I hear women speak of that black man, it's that one specific black man, but then she embodies all black men in that statement. Um, because of that one black man that hurt her, or that she's bitter with, or that left her with that child, or whatever the case may be on that end. So just try to be careful and mindful about what you share with your black son about that black man, because he then views all black men in the way that you describe them.
That sounds like some really sound advice. Makes good sense. I think we were kind of on the same page with that one about keeping the negative, out of the picture. So let me ask, what do you think, Skillz? What should a child be told about their father?
I think the main thing is that they should, the parent should try to focus on all the positive things that they know about them, and share according to age, in my opinion. And this part is just my opinion. Um, According to age, begin to share, other things and other things about them. But just let that child learn their father on their own and have their own experiences, because guess what? Children are very smart, and they will see eventually what that man is and is not doing. And they will see if they do or do not care. They will see if they do or do not love them. But let them have their own experience, and let them have their own assumption about who that parent is. Because there's no two parents on this planet that are going to parent alike. Even if the parents are together, they're still going to have a difference in opinion on parenting. They may come together and on one accord, and at the end of the day teach you the same thing, once they come together. But I guarantee you, before they got to that one resolution for that child, they had a few conversations about it beforehand. So I would just say to, share accordingly, as the child ages, but try to stay as positive as possible and let them learn the negative things on their own. Because one of the things that ladies may not realize is that has a negative effect on the mother. If the mother is sharing a lot of negative things about their dad, you know what I mean, and they know little, and what they do know of their dad is not that, they're going to look at their mom in a negative light in that aspect. So just be careful about what you share with that child. And that goes both ways, for the single dads out there and the single moms, you know what I mean? So, it goes both ways. So just be careful and cautious about what you share with your children, and how much of that you share with them, because it can have the opposite effect of what you thought it was going to have. And they can literally turn that around on you and be like, wait a minute, my mom is the one that always has anything negative to say, and my dad never says anything negative. So I'm confused as to what the real deal is here at this point. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's good stuff. More good advice. I don't disagree with anything that you said. As for me, in the same, arena, I'm a super positive person, and I always err on the side of positivity, even if you're, seeing the best in people. I would just suggest, and even though all circumstances don't start out to where you have a positive beginning, because there's some certain situations where there was no positivity in it from the rip. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, there's a lot. Children are brought into this world in a lot of different types of ways. So if you happen to be brought into the world under nefarious circumstances or whatever, this may or may not apply to you. But still, overall, I would just say, try to remember the things that you even initially liked about the person, and share those things, even if it changed or it's not the same. Or this person was, super funny. I love how they always did XYZ. You know, they were a good family person, whatever it is. I'm sure you can find 2 or 3 positive things to state about the other parent of your child, and share those things. And, you know, just talk about, you know, how you want their relationship to be, or encourage them to find out for themselves, or, you know, provide opportunities where they can find those things out for themselves, if that is a possibility. So that's kind of what I think, that, you know, the parents should always do their very best to just be as positive about the other parent as they can, and, you know, just spread peace and positivity when all possible.
Agreed. 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 Um, all right. Well, that's what's up. I hope that all our single parents out there pulled something positive from this conversation, and, you know, you know, they can implement that in their lives and in their world with their children. But you know, that's one of the things that I know that a lot of people that we know, and a lot of people in our lives that we've experienced, have that same issue. And, you know, they're lost and don't know really which way to go, and how to, you know, how to respond to that, and how to handle that situation when they encounter it. So, because most of us are emotional driven, and, you know what I mean, we're going to speak from emotion, and that's what we're going to teach our children about our, you know, our absent parent. And that's just not all the time the right way to go about it. You know, I know it's difficult, I know it's challenging at times to you know, not be honest and truthful about what that looks like, but, you know, remember that your child is the most important piece in this conversation, and, you know, the best outcome for them is the best outcome for all.
That is the truth. And also remember that it's never too late to try to, you know, make it positive, even if for some reason it wasn't that way, or it had you know, you had a negative issue. You can always, you know, come back and try to, you know, apologize, reconcile, take accountability, all the things that we know more about at this seasoned age, put those things to use. And it's never too late to try to, you know, fix things that are broken, or repair things that have been damaged. So,
Agreed, agreed.
yeah,
Right. Well, I have another one for you guys today, another segment called Let the People Know.
let them know.
Yes, and I know that we've all been told about our vegetables and how to eat our vegetables, and we should all eat our vegetables because they help us. You know, the carrots help us see. You know, all of them have some benefit, which is very, very true.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that you may or may not know, that we want to let the people know about today, is that some vegetables become toxic in different stages. So you have to be careful with them. One of which is asparagus. I don't know if anybody noticed or pays attention to, after they eat asparagus, their urine is going to be a little stronger than normal. It's going to have a chemical smell to it. That is because asparagus, believe it or not, is better for you if it's eating in its raw state and not in its cooked state, because it puts off toxins in its cooked state.
Wow.
So that is smelling. That is what happens inside your body with that asparagus. It's an excellent vegetable. I love it. I love to eat it in a salad, but I try not to eat it cooked. Another one, just really quick, is onions. Onions should not be put in the refrigerator.
Let me go to the refrigerator and take my onions out, because my onions are in
Please,
the refrigerator right now.
please, and thank you. You should not put onions in the refrigerator.
Why not?
So again, it's the toxins. So actually, the onions cause cancer when they're refrigerated, and they pick up bacteria really quick. So when you think about how onions are grown and what it is, it, you know, it puts off a chemical. And if you notice, when you put them in the refrigerator, yes, we think that they stay, you know, fresh a little bit longer, which is true. Um, but they also smell really bad, and they start to smell really bad when when you refrigerate them. So the smell of them changes. So that is the toxins that you're affected by when you put those in the refrigerator. So do not try to use as much of your onion as you can. Maybe buy smaller onions, so you don't have the super big onion to where you got to find a way to store it. Just buy smaller ones. So once you cut into that onion, you can either use all of it or use it within a day or so after it's been sitting out and not in the refrigerator.
Well, now see Skills. I'm gonna have to go and do my research because we love onions at my house, and they are definitely in the refrigerator. When we buy one onion and cut it, it's in the refrigerator. If we buy a bag of onions before we use them or open them or cut them or anything, they're in the refrigerator. Who knew? Skills out here teaching the people, letting the people know. So we appreciate you, Skills. We appreciate you.
Listen, we gotta do our research, and we gotta find out what's really good for us and what's really not. And the onions are good for you.
I love them.
But when they're cooked, they're good for you. So almost the opposite of the asparagus. But when they become bad for you. So they pick up bacteria very quickly. So
thank you.
Just so
dropping knowledge.
I try.
You do.
All right. So what we need, everyone that's been watching this evening and watching all of our previous shows, please like, subscribe, and make sure that we follow, comment, leave us some questions. We do have a couple good questions that I did receive that we'll share on one of our other episodes. And we may even try to dedicate a whole show to the questions that we do get to ask. What do you think about that, Harmony?
Yes. Well, we have a segment. We hadn't really been doing it for the last couple of shows, but we have a segment called Asking for a Friend where we share those questions that come in. So we're definitely going to have to start throwing some of those in there and make sure that we're answering our audience's questions. So we'll be sure to do that.
We should, because there's a few of them that were really good that we need to get in there.
All right.
So maybe that on our next episode. But we want to thank everyone for following, watching, subscribing, leaving those comments and all of that. Make sure that you guys continue to do the same. We appreciate you. We love you all. And stay seasoned.